Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. I always arrive late at the office, but I make up for it by leaving early. A bank is a place that will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it. I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask where they're going and hook up with them later. Never go to a doctor whose office plants have died. What the world needs is more geniuses with humility. There are so few of us left. Confidence is 10% work and 90% delusion. The best way to teach your kids about taxes is by eating 30% of their ice cream. My favorite machine at the gym is the vending machine. A pessimist is a person who has had to listen to too many optimists. If I were two-faced, would I be wearing this one? The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time.
An alcoholic is someone you don't like who drinks as much as you do.
Light travels faster than sound. This is why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. If you want your children to listen, try talking softly to someone else. War is God's way of teaching Americans geography. Don't worry about the world coming to an end today. It is already tomorrow in Australia. A day without laughter is a day wasted. Political correctness is tyranny with manners. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Education is learning what you didn't even know you didn't know. Everyone with telekinetic powers, raise my hand.
All the things I really like to do are either immoral, illegal, or fattening.
Marriage is the only war in which you sleep with the enemy. The surest sign that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe is that it has never tried to contact us. Whoever said money can't buy happiness didn't know where to shop. All men are equal before fish. People who think they know everything are a great annoyance to those of us who do. My pessimism extends to the point of even suspecting the sincerity of other pessimists. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. I am only human, although I regret it. When you go into court, you are putting your fate into the hands of 12 people who weren't smart enough to get out of jury duty. When a man opens a car door for his wife, it's either a new car or a new wife. I dream of a better tomorrow where chickens can cross the road and not be questioned about their motives. I know that there are people who do not love their fellow man, and I hate people like that.
A rich man is nothing but a poor man with money. Insanity is hereditary. You get it from your children.
He knows nothing. He thinks he knows everything. That clearly points to a political career. Everything is funny as long as it's happening to somebody else. I had plastic surgery last week. I cut up my credit cards. Expecting the world to treat you fairly because you are a good person is a little like expecting the bull not to attack you because you are a vegetarian. The average dog is a nicer person than the average person. Have you noticed that all the people in favor of birth control are already born? As a child, my family's menu consisted of 2 choices: take it or leave it.
It is a scientific fact that your body will not absorb cholesterol if you take it from
Another person's plate. Everyone has a purpose in life. Perhaps yours is watching television. My grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 now, and we don't know where the hell she is. Can't understand why a person will take a year to write a novel when he can easily buy one for a few dollars. The first time I sang in the church choir, 200 people changed their religion.
Happiness is a dry martini and a good woman.
or a bad woman.
When I was a boy, the Dead Sea was only sick. Have you ever noticed that anybody driving faster than you is a maniac, and anyone going slower than you is a moron?
I was thinking about how people seem to read the Bible a whole lot more as they get older. Then it dawned on me, they're cramming for their final exam. There is no such thing as fun for the whole family. According to a new survey, 90% of men say their lover is also their best friend, which is really kind of disturbing when you consider man's best friend is his dog. It's amazing that the amount of news that happens in the world every day always just exactly fits the newspaper. Money is not the most important thing in the world. Love is. Fortunately, I love money. If life was fair, Elvis would be alive and all the impersonators would be dead. Everything that used to be a sin is now a disease. Women cannot complain about men anymore until they start getting better taste in them. If you think you have it tough, read history books.
The road to success is always under construction.
God did not intend religion to be an exercise club. If love is the answer, could you please rephrase the question? Every time something pops in my head, I think twice about it, and I do it anyway. If someone else is paying for it, food just tastes a lot better. The word abbreviation sure is long for what it means. Anyone can be confident with a full head of hair, but a confident bald man, there's your diamond in the rough. If I wasn't a golfer, I would still be miserable, but not as miserable. I'm one of the few people in Hollywood who actually had a good childhood. Talking about music is like dancing about architecture. My best birth control now is just to leave the lights on. Don't keep a man guessing too long. He's sure to find the answer somewhere else. I'm not for everyone. I'm barely for me. Cleaning up with children around is like shoveling during a blizzard. Son, if you really want something in this life, you have to work for it. Now quiet. They're about to announce the lottery numbers. A day without sunshine is like, night. My doctor told me that jogging could add years to my life. I think he was right. I feel 10 years older already. I want my children to have all the things I couldn't afford. Then I want to move in with them. Health nuts are going to feel stupid someday, lying in hospitals dying of nothing. When you're in love, it's the most glorious 2.5 days of your life.
Lead me not into temptation. I can find the way myself. The guy who invented the first wheel was an idiot.
The guy who invented the other 3, he was a genius. The Supreme Court has ruled that they cannot have a nativity scene in Washington, D.C. This wasn't for any religious reasons. They couldn't find 3 wise men and a virgin. Love conquers all things except poverty and toothache. A bargain is something you don't need at a price you can't resist. Attests not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the dog's owner and the distance you are from your car. The worst time to have a heart attack is during a game of charades. I live about 4 muggings from Central Park. The secret of a happy marriage remains a secret. I take my wife everywhere, but she keeps finding her way back. I did not climb to the top of the food chain to eat carrots. De Beers should change its motto to diamonds. That'll shut her up for a minute. I wouldn't camp out for 5 days if was camping. Trouble knocked at the door, but hearing laughter, hurried away. Inside me, there's a thin person struggling to get out, but I can usually sedate him with 4 or 5 cupcakes. All right, everyone, line up alphabetically according to your height. When I was a boy, I was told that anybody could become president. I'm beginning to believe it. Never under any circumstances take a sleeping pill and a laxative on the same night. I used to jog, but the ice cubes kept falling out of my glass. If you think nobody cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments.
A woman is like a tea bag.
You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water. A computer once beat me at chess, but it was no match for me at kickboxing. I asked God for a bike, but I know God doesn't work that way, so I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness. If you try to fail and succeed, which have you done? Here's to our wives and girlfriends, may they never meet. I was married by a judge. I should have asked for a jury. The two most common elements in the universe are hydrogen and stupidity. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by 4 o'clock. Sickos don't scare me, at least they're committed. All you need is love, but a little chocolate now and then doesn't hurt. Friends are people who know you really well and like you anyway. Here's something to think about. How come you never see a headline like "Psychic wins lottery"? Women are wiser than men because they know less and understand more. They say marriages are made in heaven, but so is thunder and lightning.
The greatest thief this world has
Ever produced is procrastination, and he is still at large. The safe way to double your money is to fold it over once and put it in your pocket. True terror is to wake up one morning and discover that your high school class is running the country. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. The only time a woman really succeeds in changing a man is when he is a baby. Always borrow money from a pessimist. He won't expect it back. The only reason some people get lost in thought is because it's unfamiliar territory. A lot of fellows nowadays have a BA, MD, or PhD. Unfortunately, they don't have a JOB. Be yourself is about the worst advice you can give some people. Older people shouldn't eat health food. They need all the preservatives they can get. My psychiatrist told me I was crazy, and I said I want a second opinion. He said, "Okay, you're ugly too." It's true, hard work never killed anybody, but I figure, why take the chance? I live by my own rules, reviewed, revised, and approved by my wife, but still my own. A man in love is incomplete until he has married. Then he's finished. When I was a kid, my parents moved a lot, but I always found them. I was trying to daydream, but my mind kept wandering. My fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. Marriage is a wonderful institution, but who would want to live in an institution? I told you to go to Cox's and buy a seersucker suit, but it looks like you went to Sears instead. I am an early bird and a night owl, so I am wise and I have worms. To be sure of hitting the target, shoot first and call whatever you hit the target. My opinions may have changed, but not the fact that I'm right.
Wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy. We never really grow up, we only learn how to act in public. Analyzing humor is like dissecting a frog.
Few people are interested, and the frog dies of it. Never have more children than you have car windows. I drink to make other people more interesting. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. Behind every successful man is a woman. Behind her is his wife. Behind every successful man is a surprised mother-in-law. If you find it hard to laugh at yourself, I would be happy to do it for you. It's a recession when your neighbor loses his job. It's a depression when you lose yours. A lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. If you're going to do something tonight that you'll be sorry for tomorrow morning, sleep late. When we talk to God, we're praying. When God talks to us, we're schizophrenic. Laugh a lot. It burns a lot of calories. If you die in an elevator, be sure to push the up button. Once you give up integrity, the rest is a piece of cake. A fool and his money never should have got together in the first place. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. Don't let schooling interfere with your education. Avoid fruits and nuts. You are what you eat. Age is just a number. It's totally irrelevant unless, of course, you happen to be a bottle of wine. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. If you're too open-minded, your brains will fall out. I have learned from my mistakes, and I am sure I can repeat them exactly. There's a fine line between genius and insanity. I have erased this line. A camel is a horse designed by a committee. The man who smiles when things go wrong has thought of someone to blame it on. It does not matter whether you win or lose. What matters is whether I win or lose. I intend to live forever. So far, so good. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. A verbal contract isn't worth the paper it's written on. I wish I were dumber so I could be more certain about my opinions. It looks fun. When I hear somebody sigh, life is hard, I am always tempted to ask, compared to what? If at first you don't succeed, try again, then quit. There's no point in being a damn fool about it. We are all here on earth to help others. What on earth the others are here for, I don't know.
The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces.
The only mystery in life is why the kamikaze pilots wore helmets.
Everybody who is incapable of learning has taken to teaching.
Nobody realizes that some people expend tremendous energy merely to be normal. By the time a man realizes that his father was right, he has a son who thinks he's wrong. High heels were invented by a woman
who had been kissed on the forehead. If you love something, set it free, but don't be surprised if it comes back with herpes. A failure is like fertilizer. It stinks to be sure, but it makes things grow faster in the future. Biologically speaking, if something bites you, it's more likely to be female. Never doubt the courage of the French. They were the ones who discovered that snails are edible. Good advice is something a man gives when he is too old to set a bad example. If you live to be 100, you've got it made. Very few people die past that age.